Most doctors will tell you that cold feet and swollen ankles are just part of getting older, that there's nothing you can really do about it. But that advice is keeping millions of people over 60 trapped in a cycle that only gets worse. And the worst part? What's happening in your legs right now isn't about age. It's about something your doctor probably never explained, something that's been quietly building up for years while you were told it was normal. If you've ever looked down at your swollen ankles and wondered if this is just your life now, you need to hear this. You know what? You were right to worry. When your feet are so cold at night that you can't sleep, when your legs feel heavy just walking to the mailbox, when you see those veins bulging more every month, your body is trying to tell you something important. Most people are told it's just aging, that everyone over 60 deals with this. But here's what that explanation misses. Those aren't just uncomfortable symptoms. They're warning signs. Poor circulation doesn't just make you uncomfortable. Left alone, it gets worse every single month. Your legs get more tired. The swelling gets worse. Walking becomes harder. And eventually, what starts as cold feet can lead to something that changes your entire life. I'm talking about losing your independence, becoming a burden to your children, ending up in situations you never wanted to be in. And the tragedy is that most people over 60 don't know it doesn't have to be this way. Let me explain what's really happening right now. Think of your blood vessels, like garden hoses running through your entire body. When you're young, those hoses are flexible, wide open, and strong. Blood flows easily everywhere it needs to go. But as the years go by, 3 things happen. First, those hoses get stiff. They can't expand and contract anymore. It's like leaving a hose out in the sun for 30 years. It gets brittle. Second, the inside of those vessels gets narrow. Imagine decades of buildup coating the inside of a pipe. That's what's happening in your arteries and veins. The pathway gets smaller and smaller. Third, your blood itself gets thicker. It's harder to push through those narrow, stiff vessels. Your heart has to work harder and harder, but less and less blood makes it down to your feet. That's why your ankles swell. That's why your feet are cold. That's why walking exhausts you. But here's what your doctor probably didn't tell you. This process can be slowed down. It can even be improved. Not overnight, but gradually, naturally, using things that have been studied for decades. And when people over 60 do this correctly, something remarkable happens. Within the first week, their feet aren't quite as cold at night. By week 4, they're walking to the mailbox without feeling exhausted. By week 8, their children notice they have more energy. But you need to know exactly which ones work and in what order. That's why we're counting down the 10 most effective teas for circulation, from good to absolutely essential. And number 1, it's the one thing that people over 60 cannot afford to skip. Let's start with number 10, olive leaf tea. Now this one helps with blood pressure, which is important because high pressure damages your vessels. It's gentle, it's safe, and many people over 60 use it daily. But honestly, it's number 10, because while it helps with pressure, it doesn't directly fix what's happening in your legs. For that, you need something stronger. At number 9, we have Pata de Vaca. This is especially important if you're dealing with diabetes because high blood sugar absolutely destroys your blood vessels. It protects those vessels while helping control your sugar. But here's the thing. If you don't have diabetes, there are better options coming up. This is the part where many people make their first mistake, choosing teas that aren't right for their specific situation. Number 8 is Carqueja. This one works through your liver, helping clean your blood. Think of it like changing the oil in your car. Cleaner blood means better circulation, but the effect is indirect and takes months. It's helpful, but the next 7 are more powerful. Now we're getting to number 7, and this is where people over 60 start seeing real changes. It's the ginger and turmeric combination. But here's the critical part most people miss. You need all 3 things: ginger, turmeric, and black pepper together. Without the black pepper, it barely works. With it, This combination calms down inflammation in your blood vessels within 2 weeks. Many people in their 70s tell us this was the first thing that made their legs feel less tight and swollen, but inflammation is only part of the problem. That's why it's number 7. The top 6 address even bigger issues. At number 6, hibiscus tea. And this one is specifically important if your blood pressure is over 130. Hibiscus can lower your pressure naturally without the side effects of medications. Many people over 60 who drink this daily see their pressure drop into healthier ranges within a month. But here's what they don't tell you. Lower pressure is great, but if your vessels are damaged and your blood flow is weak, you need what's coming in the top 5. Skipping ahead to those without fixing pressure first is where people slow their progress. We're entering the top 5 now, and these are the ones that directly fix circulation to your legs and feet. At number 5, ginkgo biloba. This one has been used in Germany for decades, specifically for people over 60 who have trouble walking without leg pain. Here's what makes it special. It helps blood reach your feet and hands. Many people notice within a few weeks that their fingers and toes aren't as cold anymore. It's particularly good for that frustrating problem where you can only walk a short distance before your legs hurt and you have to stop. But ginkgo works on the small vessels. The next 4 work on the big problems. Number 4 is Chanca Piedra, Stonebreaker. Now most people have never heard of this one, and that's exactly the problem. This tea makes your blood vessels physically wider. It helps your blood flow more smoothly. People over 60 who use this often notice their blood pressure dropping naturally and their extremities getting warmer within the first week. But here's what most people over 60 miss. This improved blood flow only helps if your vessels are strong enough to handle it. Weak, damaged vessels can't take advantage of better flow. That's why the top 3 are so critical. Entering the top 3 now, and this is where we address the problems that people over 60 struggle with most. At number 3, Gotu Kola, also called Centella. And if you have varicose veins, or if your legs feel unbearably heavy by afternoon, listen carefully. Studies show 8 out of 10 people with bad leg circulation improved using this tea. 8 out of 10. What it does is rebuild the tiny vessels in your legs. You know that tired, heavy feeling you get in your calves by dinner time? That feeling that makes you just want to sit down? Gotu Kola targets exactly that. But here's the part where people quit too early. This one takes 8 to 12 weeks. Most people give up after 3 weeks because they don't see instant results. They move on to something else, and they never get the benefit. Don't be one of those people. If you're over 60 and dealing with heavy, tired legs, this is too important to skip. Gotu Kola is number 3 because it fixes the small vessels beautifully, but the next 2 fix bigger problems. Coming in at number 2, horse chestnut. And this one is serious. In Germany, doctors actually prescribe this as medicine for leg swelling. Real medicine, not just a supplement. What it does is stop fluid from leaking out of your veins into your legs. That's what causes those swollen ankles you see every evening. People using horse chestnut see their ankle swelling go down by half within 2 months. Their legs feel lighter. That aching in their calves reduces. Many people over 60 say this gave them back the ability to be on their feet without pain. But there's a catch. Horse chestnut needs to be prepared properly. Raw horse chestnut is toxic. You need processed products. This is one of those details that if you get wrong, it doesn't work. So many people miss this and wonder why nothing's changing. Horse chestnut is number 2 because it's incredibly effective for swelling and vein problems, but it works on the return of blood to your heart. The number 1 tea works on something even more fundamental. And that brings us to number 1, the single most important tea for circulation if you're over 60, hawthorn. And when you understand what this does, you'll see why it's at the top. Your heart is a pump. And if you're over 60, your heart isn't pumping as strongly as it used to. That's just reality. But here's what most people don't know. A weaker pump means less blood reaching your legs, no matter how healthy your vessels are. Hawthorn strengthens your heart. It helps your heart push out more blood with each beat. Studies show it can increase blood flow to your legs by 25% after just 8 weeks. 25% more blood reaching your feet, your calves, your thighs. That's enormous. People over 60 who use Hawthorn consistently report they can walk further without getting tired. Stairs become manageable again. That exhaustion that hits them by afternoon reduces. They get their energy back. And unlike medications, Hawthorn is safe to use long-term. What makes Hawthorn number one is that it addresses the root cause, your heart. All the other teas help your vessels, help your blood, reduce inflammation, but if your heart isn't pumping strongly enough, none of that matters as much. Fix the pump first, and everything else works better. In Germany, this is approved medicine for heart problems. It has hundreds of studies behind it. And for people over 60 dealing with circulation issues, it's non-negotiable. But most people have never even heard of it. That's the tragedy. Now here's the critical part. You don't need to take all 10 of these. That would be overwhelming and expensive. What you need is a simple routine based on your main problem. If your biggest issue is swollen ankles and varicose veins, focus on horse chestnut and go to cola, morning and evening. If your main problem is just general tiredness, cold extremities, and low energy, focus on hawthorn and hibiscus. If you can only pick 2 teas total, pick hawthorn and horse chestnut. Here's how to organize it. Morning, when you wake up, start with hawthorn. This supports your heart throughout the day. Afternoon, between lunch and dinner, take Go-To Cola or horse chestnut, depending on your main issue. Evening, before bed, hibiscus to help with blood pressure overnight. As for preparation, it's simple. 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried herb in hot water. Let it sit for 10 minutes. Strain and drink. Don't add sugar. It works against circulation. You can add a little honey if you need sweetness. Most people see changes within 4 to 6 weeks if they're consistent, but consistency is everything. Your blood vessels respond to patterns, not occasional effort. 3 cups this week and then nothing for 2 weeks won't do anything. What we've shared isn't complicated, but it is specific. The people over 60 who see their circulation improve, who get their energy back, who reduce their swelling, they're the ones who pick 2 or 3 of these teas and stick with them. They understand that vessels that took decades to decline won't heal in days. But they also understand something important. Bodies respond at any age. Given the right support, the right consistency, the right time, circulation improves. You have everything you need to start. The teas are available at any health store. The information is here. Now, if this information helped you today, do 2 things. First, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss future videos like this. We share information that can genuinely improve your health, and many people tell us they wish they'd found us sooner. Second, share this with someone you care about who's dealing with circulation problems. Maybe it's your spouse, a friend, or a family member. This information could change their quality of life. They might not find it on their own, but you can help them. What happens next depends on whether you act on this or let it become just another interesting thing you heard about once. Your legs are waiting.